Assalamu alaikum. Shalom ba'olam. Peace upon the whole world. I am a dear friend of Muslims for Peace, and I think I spend more time with Muslims for Peace than my own rabbinic colleagues. And it's a true blessing to be able to be in this community and to speak with so many people who share one heart. In fact, I was at Masjid Al-Aman in Middletown a couple weeks ago, and I was told that I got this phrase correctly. You will please correct me if I'm wrong. The Hebrew is Am Echad Im Lev Echad. The English is one people with one heart, and the Arabic, as the best I can, is Sha'ib Wahid B'Kalbi Wahid. Is that okay? No. Okay. They said it was then. They were just being nice. But the fact is that we're siblings, and we come from one DNA spiritually, we come from one DNA biologically, and I'm going to, it could be real easy and say what everybody else said again, but I'm not going to. Because I think that we can be really angry at the world, and we can be angry at the government. But it's not this government that brought us this trauma. It is the lack of civility, the lack of consideration that we have for each other that brought us this government. I have a bumper sticker that says, under Republicans, man oppresses man. Under Democrats, it's exactly the opposite. The point is that when you seek power over somebody else, I don't care what your label is, it's power over somebody else. And if we're people of faith, then that power should not exist. That power is not something we're supposed to seek. Empowerment is. And we're supposed to hold each other and take care of each other. One of my sacred texts, Im ein ani li mili, the English, if I'm not for myself, who will stand for me? But if I'm only for myself, what good am I? And if not now, when? At the same time that I have to stand up for what's important to me, if I only do it for me, I've blasphemed before God. So I can't be a person of faith if I'm out there for the label that I carry to have some exclusive rights or entitlements over somebody else. And so I've gotten past the word interfaith. We've had a conversation about this earlier. Because there's one faith, faith in God. And that one faith in the very same God manifests, or should manifest, in different paths. But it's the very same God. And religion should be the outcome of our practice of faith. But we've gotten into a place in this world where religion is what's first, and the label is what's first. Party over country, label over God, color over humanity. And so I think we need to call it what it is. It's a lack of faith, it's a fear, it's an insecurity. Don't tell me you have a different faith than I have. We answer to the very same Creator. Tell me that you see that Creator through a different lens, and help me appreciate the diversity of God, not just the diversity of people. Help me appreciate that this one God can create this world that's incredibly beautiful and manifests in so many amazing ways in our lives. Help me see past my own myopia. Help me understand that the horizon of my vision is only the extent of my vision and not the extent of what is. Perhaps for me, the most sacred piece of my tradition comes from the Psalms. Hine ma tov v'manayim shevet achim gam yachad. How really cool it is that we can be here together as brothers and sisters. We live, it's a colloquial translation, Bob, okay? But we take for granted that we have this country. We take for granted we have each other until it's taken away from us. How many of you pray 24 hours a day? I take exception to that. We all do. When you take a breath, That is a prayer of thanksgiving that you're alive. And when you exhale, what is the prayer that you're saying in that moment when you exhale? I want the next breath. We think of prayer as being the stuff that those religious people do, or the stuff that we're prescribed to do at certain times of the day that somehow interrupts our lives so we can stop being this and we can be this. And we don't appreciate that we are in prayer 24 hours a day because we are, because we exist. And if we're not praying, we're dead. In the spirit, in the body, and the soul. We take way too much for granted. So this holy month of Ramadan calls on Muslims to take a step back and to pay attention. But it shouldn't be a 1 month pay attention. It should be, this is the month that allows people to say, this is what I should be doing all year. But now I need to check in with God. Am I doing the stuff all year that I'm supposed to be doing? And every religious tradition has that walk of life. We have holidays that are set across our calendars so that we can have those regular check-ins, because too many of us walk through our days taking for granted that we have each other, we have God, we have our fortunes, we have our rights, until that time when we realize that something is missing. So folks, if we want to heal the world, we're not going to do it by showing up at each other's Iftar or at the holidays or at a Mass. It's nice that we can show up with each other, and I'm blessed to be here today. But if you want to change the world, we need to start showing up in each other's lives. That means when we are doing the things as a community to feed people or to hold people or to build houses or to show kindness, we need to be doing it side by side and not reading about what somebody else is doing and say, oh, that was really great that they did it. Because if all we're going to do is show up at these events and then go home and pat ourselves on the back for having done the great thing and gone to an interreligious event, we're perpetuating the madness. So if we are people of faith, I beg you, I implore you, let's show up more often in each other's lives. Let's hold each other. Let's grow each other. Let's make sure that we help each other appreciate more and be more in each other's lives. And if that, then we've healed the world. So with that, I appreciate the blessing of being here and the so many times that I get to be here with Muslims for Peace, and for so many of you. Amen. Amen.